And we begin right now with troubling news on how healthcare workers in this country dealt with the first patient diagnosed with Ebola on U.S. soil. Tonight, administrators at the hospital in Texas say the man came into the ER after showing some symptoms, and a nurse there sent him home with antibiotics.
Juliet told that nurse he'd been to West Africa and could have the deadly virus. 2 days later, doctors did admit him to the hospital. Tonight, there are reports that man came into contact with 20 other patients after showing symptoms, but experts say being in the same room with someone who is infected doesn't mean you'll get Ebola.
This virus is not the influenza virus. It doesn't spread by the respiratory route. First of all, you have to be sick to be contagious. And second, then the other person has to have contact with my bodily fluids.
Vanderbilt infectious disease specialist Dr. William Schaffner says anyone in close contact with that patient down in Texas is now being tracked by the health department.
Now, because of this, he's convinced Ebola won't be widespread here in the United States. Still, developing a treatment and vaccine for the virus is certainly on the fast track tonight. Fox 17's Erica Curry spent the afternoon in the laboratory where the research is well underway right now.
That's right, Scott and Stacy. It's a project that's been going on for about 2 years. Exploratory research has been funded by the National Institutes of Health and the Department of Defense. But now researchers are working faster and harder on this than ever before.
In the last several weeks, we've isolated over 100 new antibodies, which are potential drugs.
James Crow's team of about 15 people are on the cutting edge of a medical breakthrough, working 12 hours or more per day, 7 days a week, and so close to reaching their goal.
We've learned recently that Ebola antibodies made by animals or people, can kill the virus and can be used as a treatment. So we are making the next generation of Ebola treatments right now.
They're gathering blood samples from people in Africa who survived the Ebola infection. The samples do not contain the live virus and are shipped to Nashville for research here at Vanderbilt. It's in these square plates where wells of yellow represent cells that recognize the Ebola virus.
So to give you an idea of the workload here in this lab, each of these boxes is full of at least 100 plates, which will eventually be filled with the antigen for testing.
The work is stacking up, taking at least 9 hours to churn through about 50 plates.
It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. We look through and find cells that these people have that make antibodies, which are the body's natural immune way to kill virus. And we pull those needles out and we develop those as drugs.
Crow says it'll be another year or so until these drugs are ready to hit the market. But for now, Ebola can be managed here in the U.S. without it.
We're trying to make the next generation of drugs to treat people.
Doctors are expecting a vaccine and treatment can be trialed in West Africa after the first of the year. Researchers at Vanderbilt are also working on treatments for other diseases, including the mosquito-borne chikungunya virus. Erica Curry, Fox 17 News.
Thanks, Erica. Now, there are some very specific symptoms for Ebola. Patients have unexplained bleeding and bruising, severe headaches, fever, and in many cases feel sick to their stomachs. Now, we are continuing to get new information on this story, what seems like hour by hour, and you can get the very latest 24/7 on our website, fox17.com.